What's going on YouTube? We are here with LA Prepper. And I can't say that it's going to be an exciting night, but hey, sometimes you just got to have boring nights. I mean, I guess you don't have to have boring nights, but it's a different conversation for a different day. What are we doing today? What are we doing this evening? Well, I wanted to show you a few things I got going on. And for our motion sensitive friends, let's use this tripod that I just put the camera into. And I'm also going to need to find a cord. 99-cent store. These cords are so important. This is a USB, I think. I don't know what the normal USB is called, but this one is a B, a USB B, because there's B's and A's and C's and... What's up, JD Grayman? What is going on, man? Bike is still not running, sadly, but we're getting closer, I think. Speaking of the bike, two things that are going to help us with the bike and with other things, hopefully. There we go. Almost the cheapest calipers I could get at Harbor Freight. I think they were $9 before the discount. Let me grab a screwdriver and open this bad boy up after I drop it on the floor. And I almost bought the $20 calipers. They were nicer. They were steel or some form of metal, presumably steel. Maybe stainless. Probably not stainless. They didn't look that nice, but I didn't. I got the $8 calipers because I think for a while the $8 calipers are going to be fine. I'm sure at some point I will buy $20 calipers. What's up, Die Bullfrog? And at some point I will buy, $50, $100 calipers. Some nice big 14-inch calipers. Let's see if we can get the sticker off so all my readings don't come in at half an inch. That would be a little annoying. Although that is close to the carb float bowl adjustment height of 0.56 inches, which is one thing these... Oh, and you know what they don't have that I kind of wish they did in retrospect is a plunge gauge. Nicer calipers will have a plunge gauge in the middle to measure depth. So that's kind of a bummer. But you know what? You can measure depth a lot of different ways. I could stick this screwdriver in something, put a piece of tape on it, mark it with a pen, and then measure that, and that would give me a pretty close depth. So I'm not too worried about that, but would have been nice. God, if I can get this, I have nails, but this sticker is not coming off. Good Lord. They use like the stickiest material to put this label on. Now, do they come with a battery? Hope so. They might not. Guess we'll see. Oh no. Okay, how do you open them to put the battery in? That is a good question. Oh, Lord. Oh, there is a battery. Interesting. I know this is gripping television, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Well, sometimes there's a paper protector so that they can send it with the battery installed. Oh, there we go. I don't know if they put it in upside down or what they did, but it was not connected, and now it is connected. So, 0 millimeters. Let's see if we can get some inches. So one thing besides measuring the float bowl height that we are going to be doing, and incidentally, aside from the float bowl height, apparently there's a way you can connect, there's a float bowl drain, and if you connect a tube to the drain and then open the drain, it will act like a manometer, and the level of the fuel will give you the level of the fuel in the tube will be the level of the fuel in the float. So that is the way number 2, how to do it. But anyways, this is my windsurfing mast base that was part of my windsurf Moran contraption. And as you will see on the other side, if we can get some focus here, we had a bit of a problem. This part in blue over here used to be all the way around so that you could put a bolt through it and bolt it to a windsurfing board. But sadly, it broke off. JD was there to witness the calamity that was that boat. But I can do things like this and say, oh, what is this opening? It is 1.11 inches. I only get hundredths. I don't even get thousands. Man, this is a piece of garbage. This is like the cheapest caliper, but that's okay. You know, it'll do for things like this. You know, how wide is this metal bar? 0.35 inches. 0.36. Man, I should have got some nicer calipers. We'll see. We'll see if these will do. But so we have calipers. We have a feeler gauge. Now I have 2 other feeler gauges, but for some reason they're so cheap and nasty they don't even go down to really small values. Like one of my minimums on valve clearances, I think, is like 0.002 to 004 or something, or 003. Very, very small. My other one only went down to 0.008. So need the, now you kind of need 2 on my bike, so I'm gonna have to improvise because I have 2 valves per cylinder. So you're kind of supposed to put, you have a rocker and it's like a V in it. The cam is on the one end, on my hand end, and then the rocker has 2 fingers that press down 2 valves at the same time. So you got to put a feeler gauge under each, between the stem of each rocker and the valve, the top of the valve. So preferably you want 2 feeler gauges. I didn't feel like buying 2, but we'll see if we can make do with that. Oh, and this thing? Well, okay, to be honest, if a really, really cheap approach, right? I could get some sort of collar, either buy one, you know, something, make something PVC, some kind of bushing, right? I could get a bolt, just put the bolt through. The bolt only needs to do 2 things. One, it needs to hold it down. Okay, I could do that with a washer, a big fat washer, a bunch of washers, and a bolt. I can do that. I can hold it down. But the second thing it needs to do is it needs to stop it from sliding around, right? So if I had a bushing, I could bolt it through and it wouldn't slide around. You know, the real problem is not so much that I need to hold this down, it's that I need the mast to connect into it. That's sort of the complicated part of the process. If I simplified the way the mast connected to this, maybe I could do something about it. But it is kind of nice to have it disconnect because, God forbid, you and your board end up upside down sometimes, or the mast is like, you know, really deep underwater and you got to remaneuver it or something. Sometimes it's easier to pull the mast out of the water when it's not connected to the boat. So if it's like really sunk in there, and sometimes sometimes it feels like an anchor, man. They're not inherently watertight, and so they don't exactly float. They're not really heavy. They don't really sink like in, you know, rock would. But anyways, so gonna be possibly 3D printing this, but that is an interesting point, Jim. I mean, I could put a bigger bolt in here, but it's just, I don't think it's gonna have the hold down power unless I do some modifications. Like if I put a pin through it, like a bolt, but see, the mast base really takes up some of the depth in here, so I can't, it was a carriage bolt with a smooth head, and I really can't afford if I'm going to reuse this piece, that is, to have like a big bolt head in there. So what else we got? What else we got going on this evening? This is my little the three sides as well. Oh, yeah, but it doesn't really bolt into the windsurf. I mean, if I wish I could show you on the board, but it's a track, and it screws into this little washer that slides in a track, a square washer, rectangular, I think. But anyways, so what else we got going on? This is a battery for the bike. Charged it. Has a little meter on it. It seems to get low pretty quick, or at least the voltage seems to be a little low with the light on. So maybe that's just because the light's on and it's not when the bike's not running. Got the folks to bring me some snow boots. Not that I really need them, but they sort of brought them. Slightly more useful snowboarding boots in white. I could take them out. They have a really cool tensioning system for the laces. Snowboarding helmet in case I want to hit the slopes this winter. With a GoPro mount that I think is sadly too far back. I think, I sort of held the helmet like this when I mounted it, but I think the helmet sort of sits on my head like that. When I'm riding, it's not like, super down, right? So I think the camera, unless I had like a vertical extension, the camera would sort of be like getting this view and not sort of, the better view. So working on GoPro video stuff. Maybe I'll be bringing you LA Prepper from the snow. Who knows? And I think let me bring this into the light. It's so damn dark over here. So this is my old hiking backpack. My folks had in their attic, and I just kind of tired of having it there. You'll notice it has a very unique feature. Box of extensions. Oh, for sure, man. So this backpack has a very unique feature that if it's not apparent, I will point it out to you right now, but it's standing on its own. Most packs like this have just the vertical frame go straight down, and they won't do this. Now you might ask yourself, why is it important that the backpack can stand up? Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's completely irrelevant. Maybe you could lean it up against a tree, right? Well, there's not always a tree around. And maybe, you're standing in the middle of a mud pit and it's just soggy and filthy everywhere. And if you lay it down, you got your tent strapped on or pads or tarps and you got your jacket on top. Who knows? You don't always want your crap lying in the ground, right? So kind of cool. And even when I was backpacking and camping, all these were kind of going out of style. All the rage was like the all cloth backpack. They're kind of round, they had a lot of pockets, but they were also super heavy. This backpack is really quite light. I think probably like 3 pounds, maybe 4 pounds, but it's not super heavy at all. And having the solid frame is nice because if you have like heavy things, in weird corners and stuff, it just makes it kind of nice. Plus, a lot of people don't realize, but those big round backpacks kind of have like just the main, like two main compartments, like the upper compartment, and the lower compartment, kind of like this one, except it's got side pockets too. But they're sort of designed that you got to like pack all your stuff in the one compartment. So if you want to get at anything, unless it's packed on top, which you hope that it is, it's all kind of buried in this giant tube. Super simple backpack, pockets on the sides, pockets in the middle. If you have a backpack frame and you're watching this video, I think you should do a video on it because backpack's kind of useful. There's a lot of people, hardcore preppers. I'm not a hardcore prepper, but there are a lot of hardcore preppers that are like, I'm going to walk out. I'm just going to bug out in my car. And that doesn't work, I'll have my dirt bike with me or my bicycle with me, and then I'll bug out on that. And if that doesn't work, I'll have my backpack and, I'll just Rambo it through the forest with, my 10 guns and 5,000 rounds of ammunition and 3 months of food, all in my backpack. So if you're asking why I want to see your backpack, it's if you're a hardcore prepper and you're going to bug out on foot 50 miles a day, I hope you've thought about this, I mean, I don't really cross train in this thing. I could. It's pretty comfortable. It has hokey little straps. Like they're not that good, but the foam, back in the day, they actually made products that weren't complete pieces of garbage. So even though these shoulder pads are very, very old, the foam is still super firm and would provide quite sufficient cushioning. And even though this weight strap is kind of a piece of, it's really simple and old, it doesn't have fancy buckle or super cush padding. It works, and the fact that the frame kind of holds it down, it really gives it a good weight distribution, as well as like this back strap thing here that sort of protects it from the frame hitting you. I think frame backpacks are highly underrated personally. Everyone tries to go for the cloth pack, with 5 million Molly straps over the whole thing. You don't need to strap 5 million things to the outside of your backpack, Maybe like binoculars and a knife and a shovel and some toilet paper, and a bottle of water, some snacks or something. I don't know. But anything you can get in a pocket, it's like how tactical do you have to be is what I'm asking. Strapping something to the outside of your backpack, you're sort of saying like 100 liters. That sounds like a big backpack. Let's see. Let's see how big that is. Alps Commander Z. Okay. Hold on. Let's find this Alps Commander backpack. Okay. Alps Outdoor Commander Z. Outdoor Z, or maybe it's outdoors. I don't know. I think it's outdoors. Commander plus pack bag. I like how it has a rifle strapped to it. Strong selling point. That's pretty cool. Camelback. This is one of the things that, and I don't mean to pick on this backpack or pick on you, JD, for this, but this whole business of the camelback, like you can't stop for 1 minute and like grab a bottle of water out of your pack. At worst, at best, maybe you twist around and there are ways of connecting water to yourself that are accessible without using the straw. But it's like I gotta have my tactical water. I don't have time. There's no time to grab the water bottle from the pack. I have to go. I have to have the straw. Fill it with some chicken soup. Get your food and your water all at once, right? When you're running from zombies, you don't have time to get water. I mean, you might not even have a free hand to get that straw. What if you need water and you're carrying, duffel bag in each hand? You need a straw that's like permanently in your mouth. I'm going to sell a new product. It's going to be like the Camel Perma Straw, for 100% tactical water 100% of the time. Just wait. I will invent this product and it will work. But yeah, so the bike would not start today. Let's see if we can switch to a slightly less chaotic view of my disaster of a place right now. Where interior decorating has not been high on the list. You'll notice we have dinner is getting cold. Taquitos and Heineken should be quite the treat. But bike wouldn't start. I haven't checked the valves yet. Gonna check the valves. Oh, I need the pack. I need the pack because the pack is gonna be part of my tripod right now. Because I found my old, I thought I lost this thing. I was breaking my heart. This is the coolest thing ever. It clamps onto trees and stuff, and it has a camera attachment that swivels on a, loosen this screw to get a swivel, and this one is the clamp. But anyways, Yeah, bike wouldn't start. I'm gonna check the valves today or tomorrow. It's almost tomorrow. Let me put this down real quick. Cleaned out the carb again the other day, really pretty comprehensively. Um, double check the jets, double check the mixture screw. Pulled out the, what do they call it? It's like the choke. I think they call it the enricher. I'll try to look it up. But anyways, it gives you, it's sort of the choke dealy on this bike. And clean that out. Sprayed some starting fluid in it. Still no dice, unfortunately. So it's still not quite. I did hear it fire over a couple times, so I know it's close. It's just, I think the carb might still be like super dirty. I might need to soak it or have somebody ultrasonic clean it, which kills me because we have one at work, but it would not be good of me to get gasoline in it. I'm sure it would be fine, but it would dissolve it with the stuff that's in there, but nevertheless, don't want to get in trouble at work. So yeah, gonna check the valve clearances tomorrow. I might change the oil tomorrow. Enough. Need to check the weather too. But we're getting there. We're getting there, YouTube. Not gonna give up on this thing yet. But yeah, what's going on in your prepper lives if you haven't posted a video recently? I know, Will, I think you were just streaming earlier tonight and I missed it. I'm gonna have to go back and catch that. In fact, I really have a lot of YouTube videos to catch up on. I've not been good about. The thing about aluminum is it's soft, so if I crank, this clamp is more than strong enough to bend this tube if I just keep working on it. I'm not going to do that, but what we are going to do is adjust our little friend a little differently. So transfer from one tripod device to the other because we live in a world of technology. World in technology where we make boats that are semi-functional, zip tie, connect bags to my bike. I don't know if I've shown you guys this, but since I haven't brought it up recently, back to that hardcore bug out thing, right? Your hardcore bug out, if that doesn't work, you're gonna go on the bike. But how much do you bike? Is your bike something you're on all the time? Is it comfortable? This bike works great, very uncomfortable. And you can probably tell why, because the seat is up high and the handlebars are kind of low, mostly because I'm kind of tall and the bike was not quite built for the tall person. But the point is, you have to kind of practice, I guess what I'm saying, living, whatever. If, maybe bugging out's not your plan, but I think that if you're just trying to, I guess what I'm saying is you should probably put more than just thought into your ultimate preps, right? Like you kind of need to actively, I guess that's like the thing, you need to actively be prepping. If you're talking about, I'm going to bug out on foot, you should be hiking. If it's bug out on bike, you should be biking. If it's bug out by car, your car should be ready to go with everything that your car is going to need, or your food, got to be ready to get out of the house and all that stuff. I personally don't think it's going to be a very popular thing. I think it's easy to talk about and very hard to do. How are we doing? That is slightly better. I wish I need to get some nicer backdrops. Will, you got the Will has the craziest backdrops. You know, he's got that blue screen going with the he's got the blue screen going or green screen with all those special effects, and man, that is some fancy ass stuff. And now because I can't look at the screen, I gotta go to my live stream and now I have to have the surreal experience of watching myself live. I was watching this car guy. His name is Scotty. Let me go back to his channel real quick. Scotty Car Repair. Just search Scotty Car Repair. The guy's hilarious. Talks about all this different auto stuff. If you're into cars, you'll really enjoy his videos because he just shares super interesting stuff because I think he's worked on cars his whole life, and I think he owns a shop or something. The way he talks about it. Speaking of channels to check out, I have not done like a new prepper channel shout out video recently, so I think I might need to see if I can do some of that on this video, maybe in real time. What is this channel art business? I have a 2002, what's up, Mark? 2002 Suzuki SV650 sitting dead in my garage. Nice to ride up in the hills. What do you mean, dead? Dead? What do you mean the bike's dead, Mark? Cavers? Who are cagers? What do you mean cagers? People who drive in cages like cars? More important thing. Heineken is getting warm. This is a travesty. Okay. Fluids need to be changed. Battery dead. Flat tire. Hey, that's not. Come on, man. Why don't you fix that and we'll go off-roading in the forest or something. I need to get some good forest maps. I swear there was this website I found a while ago that was like some really small website, but they had like really good maps of the forest, the fire trails, because fire trails are, they're quite, it can be kind of hard to navigate because you're just kind of like next to a mountain that looks like every other mountain, and you might not have as much, it can be difficult up in the mountains because everything looks the same, right? Even if you have a compass and you're trying to sight distances and all this stuff, ride for 30 minutes down some trail, you're at some Y, you're like, well, is it this Y or that Y? Hopefully you remember which one you started on. Oh, well, put some dual sport tires on, you'll be fine. The things are basically designed. I mean, fire trails are not like the Rubicon. Fire trails are relatively mild roads, other than maybe some steep turns, and they're like on canyons and stuff. And I think your vehicle needs to be street legal to drive on fire trails anyways, a lot of times. Kind of depends. Actually, maybe you can off-road on fire trails. I can't remember. Actually, I think you can if they're open. But finding ones that are open, they don't. The forests are terribly understaffed as far as the size of the area and how many rangers they have. So it's not like, I don't know. I haven't tried calling recently to getting an update on which fire trails are available or not. But they kind of close them at their own whim. Yeah, I don't. would take, the thing is, it would really take a lot for something to get so bad in LA that everyone would have to leave. Like, it's not going to be an earthquake. It's not going to be a tidal wave. Do I think a tidal wave could affect LA? Sure. Could an earthquake affect LA? Yeah, definitely. But I just don't. It's a little hard for me to see the whole city evacuating. That would have to be like a really serious thing. We don't really get hurricanes, and if there's an earthquake, you just kind of stay in a hotel until your place gets rebuilt, typically, unless like the whole city's leveled or a large part of it's leveled. But when San Francisco fire and earthquake happened, I don't think all those people were like, "Well, screw San Francisco, I'm just going to move somewhere else." I think they just kind of stayed there and rebuilt. Maybe some of them were like, "Oh, I'm done with this," but I feel like people usually rebuild. But yeah, LA's going to be a jungle if things ever get crazy like that. LA is already a jungle. It's just going to be more of a jungle, you know, which is why I hope things don't get crazy, but you never know. Have to be ready. And eating this talk, even the 7-Eleven, this garbage in front of my viewers. I should be ashamed of myself. Really should. Oh, and I'm catching this. All right, let's see if we can get the. How can I do this? Let's try. Let's try that. Yeah, right. JD? No kidding. No freaking kidding, man. But it's alright. It's alright. It's not terrible. That movie was ahead of its time in a lot of ways. It was a really. Like, remember they were making methane? Master Blaster, fuel. Uh, Mel Gibson's character kept calling it like pig shit or whatever. They were ahead of their times on that. Yeah. Mark, I mean, talking about if the 5 goes down, we're trapped like rats. We're kind of, I mean, we can go south, we can go to San Diego, right? Maybe. But you're saying like from both sides. We got 3 directions, north, south, and east. So we got, 10 going out east, and basically 5 going north and south, and a couple other freeways here and there. Yeah. So I'm just going to hang out in my apartment, cook beans, run out of seasoning, realize I only have a few months of food, and I don't know, go look for squirrels or something. It's not going to be an exciting life. Maybe I'll start buying people's dogs and start a dog taco shop. Isn't that terrible? Start selling cat burgers to the neighbors. That's so awful, especially I'm eating. But I guarantee you, if I could make like pigeon tacos during the apocalypse, people would buy them. I don't know where I'd get taco shells, but somehow. I don't know how hard corn to grow is, but we don't grow corn in California, so I've got to think we don't have a good. I don't think we grow a lot of corn in California, anyways. Maybe we do. Now I want to find out. This is very important. Because you can't open a taco shop without corn. All right. Everything you ever wanted to know about growing corn in California. Most of our corn is used as silage to feed dairy cows and other ruminant animals. We produce 16% of the nation's sweet corn, ranking number 2 in the US. No kidding. With Imperial County, Fresno, San Joaquin, Contra Costa, and Riverside producing the most. Valued at $182 million in 2010, which was a 48% increase from 2009. Wow, what? That's kind of insane. I think I want to start farming corn. Looks like there's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of competition though. Man. Optimal temperatures for growth are 60 to 75 degrees. 50 is the minimum, 95 is the maximum. It's kind of sensitive. Basically, it does want California weather like warm all the time. Okay. Cool. Oh, blue Soylent Green. I could, man. I could, Mark, but no, I'm gonna stick to pigeon tacos. Pigeon tacos, rat tacos, cockroach tacos, cricket tacos, raccoon tacos, possum tacos. Maybe I'll just call the place Roadkill Tacos. Maybe I'll sell, fur hats and gloves too. So yeah, this weekend, got a 3-day weekend actually. I don't know about y'all if you are working on Monday or not. I'm luckily not. So we're gonna be working on the bike. Um, I'll get some more videos of me push starting it, kick starting it tomorrow. What else are we gonna be working on? I might clean some things that I own. Yeah, exactly, JD. Roadkill Taco Shop. I feel like you could almost open one now. See you, Mark. The way people are. Man, what else do I talk about? Haven't been doing much hiking or making fires or camping in the woods recently, but I probably should. I'd love to make a video called How to Escape the Apocalypse on Snowboard, but I don't think it's very realistic, sadly. Unless maybe you're in Switzerland. Like if you're living in the Swiss Alps, maybe you gotta escape zombies on snowboard, but realistically, I don't think snowboarding and prepping really have anything to do with each other. It's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, you can go maybe further on a skateboard than on foot if it's flat and paved, but well, you can on one foot, right? No, snowboarding is now cross country skiing. That's a good way to get around in a snowy apocalypse. You can go uphill, downhill, around corners, pretty much all directions. All right, let's get back to my prepping search. We need to find some new preppers and see what's going on in the new prepping world. I swear, man, with technology these days, we're going to start seeing videos like why you need a drone for prepping or, why you need a hybrid car to be a prepper or some stupid shit. I wouldn't be surprised. To be honest, I'm not even sure that having an electric car is a bad idea for a prepper. If you could charge your car with your house, that's pretty cool. Can't make gasoline. I mean, I suppose you could make gasoline if you, um, well, let's just say it would be kind of hard to make gasoline. Not impossible, but probably more trouble than it's worth and more than you have the energy or desire to put together a freaking gasoline factory. Presuming you had any crude oil in the first place. All right, let's find some new preppers on YouTube. These are the hottest, newest preppers in the world. Prepping is more than canned foods, it's deeply personal. This is no BS. Let's see how big his channel is. 12 subscribers. All right. Go check out No BS. His icon is a school bus monster truck. No BS. Okay, maybe I'll put some. I guess I could give him a proper shout out. All right. Shout out number 1. Super brand new prepper. This guy's putting stuff on his face for some reason. Okay. Prepping meal. Rogue preparedness. 11,000 subscribers. That was really loud. Sorry about that. Okay, 11,000 subscribers. They don't need a shout out. They're doing all right. David Kralik Outdoors. Does some outdoor stuff. Oh man, these people just like playing in the forest, cutting down trees, starting fires. I'm like, where do you live? You can just start fires anywhere and cut down trees to make your little like huts and stuff. It's not always on their land. Sometimes it's on their land, but I don't know. Oh, well. It's all right, JD. It's all right, JD. YouTube isn't going anywhere, unlike MySpace. Perm prepping, party prepping, prepping to repot. There's a lot of P's. I thought it was prepping to report, but it was prepping to repot. Very close. Prepping a Corvette, prepping a Euromount, prepping for spring. Here we go. 22,000 subscribers. Okay. But where are the brand new preppers? Prepping your kitties for a raw meat diet. Some people are all about that raw meat with their like animals. I mean, they think like, well, in the wild they ate raw meat. They're still kind of have that DNA of the wild animal. I mean, I guess if your animal's healthy and they're not getting, worms or whatever, nasty stuff from it. Oh, JD, you might appreciate this one. Prepping without looking like a prepper. Gray Madden. Even has Gray in his name. He only has 118 subscribers. He could definitely use a shout out. Hunting with a blowgun. What kind of videos this guy's got? So again, his name is Gray, Gray Madden, Madden. Worms for self-reliance. I like this guy already. Worms are awesome. Good for dirt. Is prepping crazy. Slinging technique. Lots of worm stuff. Okay, dude has some worms. I love it. How to make a gun rack. Cool, man. Sort of, yeah. All right, shout out number 2. I forgot I had this ability. Yes, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Idiocracy, but one of the main characters, the sort of the dumb guy, like the sidekick guy, he's sitting on his chair with like two liters strapped to his head, and he's watching this virtual TV thing. He's got like 20 or 40 or whatever, like a lot of different screens and pop-ups and all this stuff going on, you know. So I guess what I'm saying is two screens is enough to overwhelm me. I don't need to get to that level yet. Drinking some delicious Heineken today. They didn't have any. My beer choices that weren't crap, as in American beer, were Dutch, Heineken, Sapporo from Japan, and there's a lot of decentish Mexican beer there that wasn't in a 12 pack. Prepping for global economic collapse warning to America 2019. God, talk about getting all the good words. That's what you got to do. See, you guys could learn a lot from this guy. This guy's got good marketing. Corey Harden. He's got 500 subscribers. Not that, you know, how many subscribers you have really matter, but it's just kind of a rough gauge of your popularity online. Okay, this guy. I love this guy so much because he talks about prepping. He makes a ton of videos, and he's always talking about silver, stack silver, how to stack silver. He's always just like flashing coins at the camera. Cracks him. He's such a cool guy. His channel name is Another Overtaxed Taxpayer, and he's just a real dude. Real dude. I think he lives in Arizona. 15,000 subscribers. Oh my god! I swear his channel has gotten crazy huge. Rondo, yes, it has electrolytes. That movie has so many classic moments. Man, my phone. I gotta check my phone battery. It's not gonna last forever. Where's that cable? Where's that magic cable? I need the magic. Much better. Wow, I've already been on for 47 minutes. That's kind of crazy. All right, back to finding preppers.
Prepping on a budget. And
he's always driving. I think him and his wife bought brand new Subarus recently. I only know that because he mentioned it on his channel, of course. But yeah, I don't know if it's like he stays in his place on the weekend or how that works exactly, but check out his channel. Step 1 Survival, of course, we all know Step 1 Survival. They have the live videos every Saturday night, which I missed this evening, unfortunately. Prepping a dog for a bath. Daily news 24/7. Yeah, prepping pizza dough. Come on. Prepping for paparazzis. How not to prep. Mayhem Country Living. I think that's a pretty big channel. 12,000 subscribers. Built a chicken coop recently. Very cool. Russia's going to turn off their internet to prep for a cyber attack. Okay. Pennsylvania Prepper. Why does that name sound familiar? 20 subscribers. All right, let's check out Pennsylvania Prepper. Give this channel a little bit of attention. Doing a lot of cooking, has a nice little doggo. Storing stuff in Mylar bags, vacuum sealing stuff, very cool. Some food prepping videos. I'm sure there's lots of other things Pennsylvania Prepper is into. Maybe we will see. Excuse me. Onward into YouTube, deeper into YouTube videos. Prepping for grapes, prepping to lift heavy weights, prepping a thigh block for dressage. Okay. Prepping for the big dance. Oh, that's cute. Prepping for public intoxication. That's a good thing to prep for. Like I'm getting drunk, ready to go out. Prepping for the Brexpocalypse. Now that's a big word. Prepping for martial law, Bear Independent. 26,000 subscribers. Holy cow. I'm going to check out a really huge prepping channel. Look at those guys. City prepping. City prepping makes a lot of videos. 162,000 views. Oh my lord. That is crazy. 228,000 subscribers. Wow. What an insanely huge channel. All about prepping. All these people, 162,000 people watched a video about prepping on this guy's channel. What does that tell you about whether or not people are thinking about this stuff, you know? That's a lot of people. I mean, sure, there's 333 million people in the country, but Canadian Prepper, we've seen Canadian Prepper, pretty big channel. Let's talk about prepping, 390 subscribers. The Banana Apocalypse. What are these apocalypses coming? Quincy. Oh, he built a Quincy. I really appreciate that because I've built a Quincy. All right, the next one I'm going to link is the Quincy video because Quincy's are cool. And if you're ever in the snow, building a Quincy could save your life if you're really in a rough situation. I promise if you will probably start melting the snow inside of a Quincy, it will get that warm. Close the door. Actually, I think our door was open and we had a chute that was open just to get fresh air. And we still were melting the inside. Have to forgive me, I'm starving. I haven't eaten a lot all day. I had some lunch earlier, but I need to eat. Essential Mountain Homestead. Looks like a cool channel. Man, look at these huge channels. 42,000 subscribers. Got all the tactical stuff hanging behind him on the wall. Alaska Granny. What is Alaska Granny prepping? Okay. Wow, Alaska Granny has 33,000 subscribers. And if you're living in Alaska, you're pretty much roughing it every day. The weather out there and being so remote. Even if you're near a town, you got to keep in mind those towns, have to get reached by trucks or planes or whatever, trains, whatever. And if the road's bad, the road's bad. I want to find a small channel. Man, it's really crazy how mainstream prepping has become. Prepper Potpourri. I remember that channel. Man, I cannot find, I'm telling you. Let me try SHTF. Prepping isn't always a good keyword, but SHTF, WROL, all good keywords. Find a few more before I sign off here. Since I guess I don't have too many exciting updates to update the world on. Here we go. Shit Hits the Fan Alcohol Stove by Christian Page, 1 view. He has 3 subscribers. Perfect. Christian Page, you are about to get a shout out from LA Prepper. In fact, I will subscribe right now. Tiger Moth Camper. Cool. Maybe one more prepper for the community. Looking for land, real world prepper. I want to buy some land, but I want to be able to do something with it. In fact, I'm going to add his video looking for land, his most recent video, to my watch later list. Sorry, I'm moving my head around because the camera's right in front of me. Oh gosh. No. Darn it. Oh, let's try this again. So I'm gonna need to watch that video for sure. Wow, he has really good JPEGs for his screenshot thumbnails. (1963) Bug Out Camper. That's the kind of video I appreciate. Nice budget RV deal. 28 inconvenient truths about Teotihuacan. Ooh, gotta add that one to my watch later too. That's too tempting. All right, let's find a few more preppers, and then we're gonna sign off. Rescue Boss. $108 subscribers. Wow. All right. We're going to give Rescue Boss a shout out real quick. All right, let's find a couple more people. One of my oldest subscribers, Oopus Cat Emergency Preparedness, Antifa, 3 reasons they will survive SHTF and 3 they won't. That is, I really want to watch that video and see what he thinks about that. The art of prepping, garbage management. It's an important thing. Wow, the art of prepping looks like a brand new channel. That's crazy. Anyways, I'll throw you a link to the website. Yeah, I feel you, JD. Sometimes the numbers just kind of go up, from old content. And I look at some of my old content, I'm like, wow, I put thought into like having topics and articles and graphics, and maybe not graphics so much, but stuff on the computer. And we've regressed to this, to wearing a broken sweatshirt, eating taquitos, drinking Heineken, while surfing the internet. I mean, for Christ's sake, look how low we've sunk. It's the lowest of lows. Oh, my camera's so low. But, it's still a little too low. Yeah, I know, right? Peak America, 7-Eleven, beard, surfing the internet. What more could you want from life? That is decent. Decent. Yeah, the bike was supposed to, I just, I don't mind shaving, but my skin just, whether it's a razor or electric, it just kind of doesn't really love to get shaved. Unless I have like a brand new electric blades. Granted, my blades are like, I don't know, a few years old. Probably way too many years old. But anyways, yes, peak America. Got a nice job doing stuff at work with my hands. I have a very blue collar job. We don't do blue collar work, but it's a very blue collar job. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. Sometimes blue collar jobs are more enjoyable than office jobs. In fact, kind of a lot of times they are. Because I don't think humans were designed to just sit in a chair all day. I don't think it's really our best way to get around. The Ace of Spades. This this channel is interesting, but not quite enough about prepping. Preparedness veteran. 14 subs. Oh, I gotta give a shout out to this guy. Preparedness veteran. Oh, wrong thing. Okay, what is going on here? So yes, and I said what I was got going on this weekend, which was, but as far as what's going on in 2019, prepping wise, gosh, I really don't know. Want to get the bike working, but that's not really a whole 2019 goal. That should be like a February goal. Um, I'm not really in desperate need of like more self-defense stuff. I mean, maybe some more ammo, a little bit more food, but I'm really trying to look at getting like a home base, or at least my first castle, so to speak. Like, even though my apartment is somewhat defendable as far as the street that we're on and the layout of the apartment, it would be nice to have my own place for all the reasons that it's nice to have your own place. So I think 2019 is just going to be a year of kind of being frugal and making money. And I almost went into work today, but I was kind of tired as crap. I got up after like 5 hours of sleep, and I'm like, why am I up? I need to go back to bed, and just couldn't go back to bed. So yeah, I work a lot. I'm not really desperate for the hours right now. So I'm gonna take the weekend off, drink some beers, swear at the bike, find some new preppers to bother on YouTube. Just a normal weekend for a regular American. Eat some Taco Bell. Actually, I had Del Taco today. It was pretty decent for Del Taco, that is. All right, can we find maybe one final video? Lady T Survival. Preps you may not have thought of. 95 subscribers. All right, let's get Lady T to 100. Of course, being that this is the end of the video and it's kind of a long and boring video, the chance that she gets a shout out, I suppose, is a little bit rough. So I'm going to give her a special comment shout out as well. All right, folks, I think we're going to sign off. I've been yabbering on now for long enough. Gave you an update on the bike, update of some of the gear that I got messing around, update on the beer, update on taquitos. So until next time, practice what you prep and get your backpack in order, get your transportation in order. keep prepping, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Keep prepping. This is LA Prepper signing out. I will see you next time.